In Ephesians 4, verse 11 and 12, it's written that he himself gave some to be apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers, for the equipping of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ. What would you say it means to be perfected to the work of the ministry? And what are these ministries in the body of Christ?
Yeah, that's a lifelong work that, by God's grace, we who are disciples have come into, to serve others, to be able to serve our friends, be able to be a servant on the body of Christ, and serve in whatever capacity God has called each one to. And a great part of that process of our being perfected for the work that we've been called to do, that has to do with those gifts, those particular men whom God has placed in the body, to serve in such a way that the saints can be perfected for their task. God has placed apostles and prophets and evangelists and pastors and teachers, and they have a specific task that only they can do. And without that work, then actually it's impossible for us to fulfill our part, which is to be perfected for the work of the ministry. And with that tremendously great goal that the whole body will be perfected and will be prepared and ready for Jesus to receive when he returns. So it's a very great goal, and therefore we need that help. And then part of that to receive that help, of course, requires humility on our side. To be served by others. They are people like we are, but God has entrusted them with a particular task, and we have to be humble and receive that help which God has determined to give us in the body of Christ. And if we are, and to the degree we are, then we will also get grace over us to be perfected, so we too can be along in the work in building up the body of Christ. There is nothing greater to live for than that.
So what is the ultimate purpose of the body of Christ, or the brotherhood?
Yeah, God has a tremendous purpose beyond time in the work which he's done through Jesus Christ to raise up the body of Christ. And it's written there in Ephesians that to the intent that now the manifold wisdom of God would be made known through the church to the principalities and powers. And we know Satan usurped authority over God and over God's creation, and he desired to be like God and to rule over people, which he has succeeded in to a very large degree, but not in the church and not in the brotherhood. There the head of the serpent has been crushed through the brotherhood, and they have overcome his evil and all of his temptations. And through that work of grace, which God has been able to accomplish to the church, then it will be revealed for all of eternity that there are people who, by their faith in God and their love to God, they were exalted and raised up. And that will stand as a testimony for all of eternity to all created powers. All rebellion against the will of God, all rebellion against and transgression against God's will has a devastating result. But those who keep God's laws and who love and serve God, then God has been able to raise up a tremendous glory within them, and that will be as a testimony throughout all of eternity. So there will never again be a rebellion in eternity because of that work which God has done in the church. And all created beings will understand that only to live by the will of God, or to live by the will of God, is the only right choice to make, and therefore God will have secured his eternity through the work that he's done in the body of Christ.